So yeah, Hemant, thanks a lot for joining. Basically, this is just a chit chat to figure out like how was your whole experience going back to India. I'm assuming that you moved some time back, and then basically just we have this conversation going on with everyone who's moving back to get to know if there's something that we missed, and get to learn your journey and things like that. So tell me a little bit about you, like where did it all start from? Like where were you back in the US?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mani. So I was in Bay Area, California.
Okay,
I moved to US in 2016. I did my master's from Stony Brook University in New York. So like 2018 starting, I moved to Bay Area in California, and I was there since almost last 7 8 years.
wonderful, wonderful. So what made you come back to India?
So to be honest, that was like always the plan.
Okay,
Right? That like I'll go US, I'll spend some time there, and then move back. Again, the timeline was not clear in my head when I went, but I think in 2020, 2021, like me and my wife, I met my wife there in the grad school as well. We were both on board that eventually we want to settle in India. So we just realized that like if we keep chasing a number or that it will never happen. That number keeps on changing. So we put a timeline that by 2024 end, uh, we'll 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 probably be moving, and then we started taking actions based on that timeline.
got it, got it. And what was the first thing that you, or maybe few things that came to your mind initially when you decided to move in? Like anxiety, and I'm sure a lot of chaos and things like that. So what were like maybe the top three things that was on top of your mind?
I think it's a lot of stuff, right? Like first of all, you always wonder that am I making the right choice, right? Uh, but fortunately now a lot of people are moving back, so you have uh, very good number of examples you can talk to, right? But generally, there's always a like a very disorganized process, like how the shipment will be done, or how where should I keep the money, should I keep it in US, should I sell all my stocks, move to India? I mean, like there are a lot of things, 401k, because you have been in US for like 7 8 years, so you have like a lot of things settled in that way. And for India, like especially for me, I've never done like any job in India. So probably I'll be doing my first job in India. I don't have a CIBIL score in India. So how does it work? How are the bank's account, taxation, like how Indian stock market operates, how investment in India happen. So I'm still in that process of onboarding. It's good that we are settled. We are renting an apartment in Bengaluru now, and everything that thing is done. The goods have been shipped and etc. has been done. Now the next step is like how to streamline investments, how to take care of taxes for both the countries, all those kind of things.
Got it, got it. So when exactly did you move back?
So we moved back in October last year, like October end.
Okay, okay. Let me ask you this. So was job a major part of the concern? As in, were you able to find the job while you were in the US, or did you come back and then started your job hunt?
Yeah, so I'm still employed in US, right? I'm like just about to quit my job in US, and then like my plan was always to take a month break, right? Settle down in India and then look for opportunities here. My wife, on the other hand, she found the job while being in US, so she joined Airbnb in Bengaluru. So yeah, so she has already joined. I'm still attending late night meetings in my US companies, but pretty soon it's gonna go, and then I'm gonna start preparing for interviews and all this kind of things. Yeah.
Got it. So you didn't have a conversation with your current employer that you're moving back, and then they were okay with that. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I actually was trying to take internal transfer, but I work for Meta, so they
Okay.
don't have a very big engineering presence in India.
Got it.
Uh, so that's why like I'll probably be starting fresh, which is fine.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So finances, right? Big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, and everything. how do you go about, like, what would be your answer to anyone who asks you this question? Like, we are about to move back in next 6 months or so. What do I do with my 401k? Should be just
Yeah.
leave it here, or
I
invest?
mean, it's again a very subjective answer, but I can give based on my experience. Uh, Currently, like I've kept all our finances, like we both have kept all our finances in US, but we have consolidated into one platform. Generally, Fidelity or Schwab is recommended because they're easy to use from India. So we moved everything to Fidelity. It was spread across Schwab, Robinhood, E-Trade. Like there were around 8, 10 platforms, and then we consolidated all to Fidelity, which again will take you like a month to do all these transfers. So like if you're moving soon, it's high time to get started on these as well. Uh, a lot of folks I know, they'll just dissolve everything in US and uh, move to India, which also makes sense. Like the reason of that is like people are very scared. Like if there's are some tensions between both the countries, like they don't wanna stuck in a country they're not citizen of as well, and like your bank account you're not able to approach from here. So these kind of like edge cases can happen as well. But for now, all of the stocks, equities, everything, they're in the uh, but most probably because India is also a like growing market, the new investments we will be making that mostly will India.
Got it. So one of the questions that comes up very often in the forums is, um, are you able to access, all of this from India? Like, how about the OTP and all those kinds of things? How do you go about figuring that out?
Yeah, so I think the R2I community, all the answers I got from that and just implemented it based on what people have done. So I'm keeping my number active for OTPs and everything. You just port it to Google Voice, which is just a one-time $20 fee, and it's free after that. So all my Chase bank accounts or Fidelity, everything OTP comes on the Google Voice app. But I think I've also tried because it's not very reliable, right? OTP system and everything. So like wherever possible, for example, like Fidelity also provide a like a two-factor way of using the authenticator app of Google, right? So wherever I can use the authenticator app, I have moved to that mode. But if, like, for example, if there's Stripe or there is Chase, they don't provide that authenticator mode. So for that, I'm just keeping my number active to get OTPs.
Got it. Got it. Okay, let's switch. How about the whole US versus India, switch? And like, how are you dealing with? I'm sure it's pretty overwhelming, right? I mean, being in Bangalore, a lot of activity around you, and how did you deal with that? Was it overwhelming for you? Was it okay? Did you have any conflicts there? Do you have friends or family who's helping you with the whole move? So
Yeah, I actually I write a lot about this whole US versus India thing on LinkedIn as well. Uh, so, but I think I'm very happy. Like, just TLDR of the answer is I feel much happier here being in India. It could be big things like I'm able to see my family once every quarter. They live in New Delhi. Uh, I wanted to explore South India because I haven't lived here. So Bangalore, Hyderabad, I'm planning to explore these cities. But it's good. Like, you can go to festivals, you can invite them here. Uh, I think these add to my happiness question. Also, the culture in India is more social compared to US, in which like your circle is your friends, or like you don't talk to your neighbors, or you don't have a bigger circle. Here everyone talks to everyone, so automatically it gets bigger. Life is definitely more chaotic in India, but I think both me and my wife, we love living a chaotic life compared to monotonous life. That's one reason. Also, I think like now we are still very new here, so like even the small things is like makes us feel like, for example, if you are ordering food, right, like maybe a meal would cost you $300. If you convert it to dollar, it's like what, $2.5, right? Uh, they're basically like you won't even get a like you won't even get a dosa for like $10-15, right? Here you'll just get it for $1. So it just like we often compare that in US we used to spend this much money on this thing. Here it's this cheap. Obviously the convenience, quick commerce, urban clap. Uh, I mean you don't like really need to step out of your apartment if you don't want to. There's a lot of convenience here, definitely. Uh, Also, I think like both of us, I mean, there are very small things as well, right? For example, we both are uh, cricket fans, right? So in US, we used to wake up at 5 in the morning, watch matches, and then like if you go to a sports bar or anything, there's always baseball up or basketball up. In India, cricket is everywhere. I mean, it just the feeling of more familiar with all the things because that's how we have grown. So yeah, all these things like the life feel much easy and more familiar and more comfortable here. One of definitely the reason is that you have made good savings from working in the US. So here you have the freedom to not work in toxic jobs or get an apartment in a like a luxury society and all this kind of things. So that also makes life easier. But yeah, I mean, overall, we feel much happier here.
Got
Uh, yeah,
it. I think it's an emotional decision more than anything else, right? Like you get to be more closer with your friends and family and celebrate. The go back to your roots, and it's something that you can't really, uh, um, it's an emotional thing, like I said.
yeah, yeah. And I think that's one thing. The other thing, which probably is also an equal factor of
Mm.
us moving, is that we were on H-1B visa.
Yes.
So it's also very restrictive, right? I mean, I had my I-140 approved, right? So it could have been extended unlimited times. I couldn't even file for EB-1A, try to get a green card. But like, it's very restrictive in a sense that you can't take a career break. If you have to travel outside the country, there are like 10 things you need to check, visa stamping, all that kind of things. Also, I create content on the side. I mentor students, so I cannot monetize those kind of things as well. But in India, like I can do anything I want. So there's just more freedom. I can take more risks with my career, which I don't have the liberty of doing it in US. So I think I just turned 30, and like I think this is like the part of my career in which I can take risks, explore things, see if anything is working out or not. So yeah, so that's why we just wanted to like spend our like peak prime years of career here in India because it's also a growing economy. So yeah,
Yeah, it sounds very, very much like my story because even I was on batch 1B and had my green card thing going on.
yeah,
I was doing things on the side like blogs and content and all that stuff, and you couldn't monetize any of that. You're supposed to work on. I mean, there are people who do workarounds, but I didn't want to do that. But
yeah,
then and the entrepreneurial part, right? Like when it bites you, then it's no longer a choice, but you have to just do it on your own. So yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Tell me this. So once you moved back to Bangalore, like you moved your things along, did you book by like was it like a shipment or something or okay?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's that was also recommended by the Artway community. Uh, I think Universal is pretty much like universal relocation. So got shipped through container. Took us 3 months to get back in Bangalore. We got our shipment in January mid, so like maybe 2-3 weeks back, and there were like 45, 46 boxes. We are still There are still 5, 6 in the other room, and we're opening like 3 boxes every day. And just yeah,
Got it, got it. And did you have any trouble finding like an apartment in Bangalore, or was it easy? Like you had to go offline or something? Was there? Or,
yeah. I think like so, my wife she works at Airbnb, so they gave 1 month accommodation for us, and then they only helped us, find the brokers and apartments. So we saw 10, 12 societies,
Mm.
uh, but we only liked one of it. I think like used to how Gurgaon and Noida housing there is. So I was always trying to find the similar kind of societies and this here in Bangalore, but here it's a little different. But yeah, we like finally found a decent apartment. It's a pretty good locality as well. Uh, I heard Flipkart CEO lives like in one of those villas.
Oh,
So yeah, so
okay.
it's pretty fun. Yeah.
Got it. If you don't mind me asking, what is this newsletter that you talk about, the mentoring part of it? Is it for startups or?
Yeah, so my newsletter is mostly about career growth, like people who are new in tech industry, and if you want to, grow to a senior role or staff role, what are the traits you need to have? So I share my stories. And sometimes it also like goes to interview preparation. Even I'll be sharing some move to India, stuff there as well, sharing my journey. I yeah, uh, like try to invite. I think I once invited Nupur Dave. She's a
Mm.
like a return to India creator. So I invited her as a guest on my newsletter. So that also people were really curious. I mean, I am not sure how many folks would move back, but a lot of folks are definitely curious about what life in India looks like. I got a lot of pings as well. Uh, so yeah, so that's basically my newsletter. About it's a career growth newsletter. I also create similar kind of content on LinkedIn regarding that.
Nice, nice. Tell me one thing. Do you miss anything from the US?
Uh, I think by miss, it's just like some nostalgic feelings. Like obvious, of course, we had a good friend circle there, right? Everyone is still there, and like it's sometimes it's like if just life gets too chaotic here, so you sometimes miss that. Like if it was just like more peaceful. You get to spend time with yourself, or maybe I mean it just because there was not like not enough things to do there, so you just get to spend more time on other things. Here time is scarce, so yeah, sometimes you miss that, but other than that, I think like both of us, we have the like same kind of personality who likes to live in this kind of environment.
Got it. If coming to finances, do you have any tips for those who are planning to move back? Maybe to prepare well ahead, or anything that they should do before they move? Things like that. Anything of that part?
Yeah, I would just say, like I'm assuming you've already diversified and everything, right? Your equity portfolio.
Mm.
Uh, so just consolidate everything.
Mm.
Uh, Even I'm still learning. I haven't touched my 401k. I've kept my 401k there, and I intend to keep it, right, unless I urgently need anything money, or maybe when I turn 59. Uh, so also the dollar is like appreciating against rupee. That can also work in your favor if you have investments in US companies and equity portfolio. That's one thing. Or just I think when once you move back, like hire a good CA or a financial advisor, because there's a lot of complexities. For example, for me last year, since it was all US income, it would be pretty straightforward. But this year, like I've been working in US for 3-4 months, then I'll be working in India. Then there will be some freelancing money I made from US. There would be some freelancing money from India, so it becomes very complex, which I'm sure I'm not able to do it on my own. So like yeah, I'll be getting a good CA, a good financial advisor. uh, I don't have any clue about Indian markets, so I'm trying to learn a lot as well. But generally, like in my experience, I've just consolidated everything in Fidelity, so I don't need to uh, like access multiple platforms. I see everything is there. Fidelity is also a trusted platform. But yeah, like just diversify uh, in US, consolidate everything, and just like don't be very actively involved in it. See you're able to access, get a point of contact from Fidelity if anything happens. So they give you like a relationship manager kind of person. So yeah, we have all that sorted out. Uh, So my wife, she gets a chance to go to US every 6 months. So we still can, go and check and meet, and make sure everything is fine. But even if it is not, everything is digital now. So yeah, just consolidate, so that you're not always occupied by where the money is, what is happening with the money. I think peace is very important. But yeah.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Here's the thing. So once you came back to India, once you returned to India, what were your priorities like? Like, what were you trying to solve? Maybe if you were to put a list together, what are the things you would go by one?
Oh, you mean like priorities in India?
Yeah, in India after you came back, right? Let's say, for example, job, family.
Yeah, yeah. I think probably, like most people I know, they would put family first, but I think my parents are still fairly young. They are 55, 56. My dad has this small scale business he's doing in Noida. So they are not like very dependent on me, like, right. So I think most probably, like, the number one priority is that I want to explore my interest, right? Like what I want to do, figure out what my interests are, try different things, fail at them, and even, like, go back to corporate job, so that I don't regret that I couldn't try. But in US there was not an option. So probably first thing is like figuring out what I want to actually do with the life. uh, Second is definitely, I would say, uh, family and getting settled here. Right. I'm also like moving into 30, so a lot of my interests are changing. A lot of my priorities are changing there as well. So yeah, settling in a new environment, settling in a new life, being close to parents, family, and so yeah, these are pretty much. I mean, it's like. The India story, it's very famous that India is growing at a much faster rate. You always need to be proactive and upskill to grow with that speed. So that's what I think it's a good time to being in India. So that's what, like, we hope that we'll be able to make the best out of all the like priorities we have here.
Got it. Okay. So one of the things a lot of people, not a lot of people, some people at least, go through is, pollution and, noisy neighbors,
Yeah.
or, listening to bother about what you're doing and things like that. Like the typical Indian problems, right? Did you have to deal with any of those? Or what is your, how
Yeah. I mean, definitely, pollution is the issue, right? I think in Bangalore, it's still pretty good, 110, 120 AQI, which is decent. I know, like, in Mountain View, when I was there, it was like 40, 50. Uh, but Bangalore is still fine. When I go to my parents' house, Noida, Gurgaon, that's where, you sense to feel that something is wrong. Uh, but I hope things get better in next 4, 5 years. But yeah, pollution is a real issue, and uh, it's just like, it it bothers me, but not to an extent that, like, it's not a deal breaker for me, at least in Bangalore. Uh, Also, not like, for, I think, neighbors and all this time, we don't face this. I think, like, the society I live in, I would say, like, if I meet 10 folks, three are they move from US or UK or EU. Uh, so pretty much, like, they are also very in that mindset. It's not like that people meet, people do have that Indian feeling, but it's not like, that everyone is bothered or involved in others' life. So that's the good part. I think it's traffic also, like Bangalore traffic is known to be worst, but luckily, I'm also working remote. My wife's job, it's also fully remote, so we haven't faced like that yet. But yeah, these have their own pros and cons. It's just that we picked the priorities that made us happy, uh, right? So I think I wrote like a lot of things on LinkedIn recently as well, that just watching IPL in a sports bar. with like similar folks around or with friends. It like gave us so much joy uh, that we were like it's such a small thing for like if you see people are doing it on a daily basis here, but like when we did it for the first time, it's like that's what we have been missing in the US, these kind of days. So it's very difficult to explain. Could look very small to others. So I think that's why I like when someone asks me, uh, so it just like you should definitely go explore
Yeah.
UK whenever you want. Make a choice yourself. Right, even your priorities will change. Like the way I used to think at now 30, I didn't think it like that when I moved to US when I was 22. Right, so a lot of priorities will change. A lot of your interest will change. So yeah, just make a choice of your own. For us, India was the clear choice, and that's why we like already started taking like steps from 2023 itself.
Got it. Got it. What is that one thing, if there was one, that NRIs get wrong about India? NRIs has been there for maybe 25, 30 years or so, and
Yeah,
they get to hear all these stuff from media, things going wrong and pollution, obviously, and other things, right? And usually they have this big apprehension about moving back, and you're worried. They have a lot of anxiety.
yeah, yeah,
And then when you come back, you just realize that, oh, wait a minute, it's not as bad as it sounds like, or
yeah.
sounds like. What is that one or two thing that, in your opinion, uh, that they get wrong?
I think first of all, like India's changed a lot.
Mm,
Even when I went in 2016,
mm,
right, like the compensation or the salaries which we get now in Bangalore,
mm,
it was nowhere near that, right?
mm,
So uh, if you are in Google, let's say in India, versus if you are in Google, let's say in US, right? And if you are, let's say, in 20s or mid 30s, uh, this is what I feel that person in Google in India is living like a much luxurious lifestyle compared to someone in US, right? Uh, that's one thing. Second is a lot of folks I talk to. Uh, Most of them they have like pollution is one big concern, right? Second is a lot of folks they have been accustomed to the US lifestyle that we don't want to interact much with extended family, and if we go in India we won't be able to avoid. So that cultural thing is for there. For some it's like that one partner wants to go, the other partner doesn't want to go. For some it's like kids are now in school, so like uprooting them would be it won't work. But generally I feel I think the cultural thing and just traffic or AQI, people feel like from there that it's a like a bigger thing, like much big thing. But I think when you move to India you realize that those are valid concerns. Like those are cons, but then there are other pros here as well, which will outweigh them, at least for me. But yeah, like I think that's what like that's what even we were prepared that like that we'll probably, like for example, if there's a cousin's birthday I want to go on, right? In US it's very easy to say that, of course, I won't be able to come. Here like it's like that, okay, you just live like 20 kilometers, even if you don't want to come, like maybe out of just courtesy, you'll go. So you'll have probably, maybe you have less time for yourself, uh, right? But again, like that time you spend in US by cooking your dishes or doing your dishes. So a lot of like it's a very different lifestyle. uh, I think just, yeah, like the only right answer is just go live in both the countries and see what works for you.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the Back to India community was of much use to you. Was there anything that you found, or you discovered or learned from the community that you thought or you didn't think about earlier on? Like, as in, like, oh, this was useful, but I didn't know about this earlier. Kind of, was there anything of that sort?
Yeah, I think almost 90% of like everything I like basically decisions I took or everything I got to know from Return to India. And I believe took the I joined the community like 2 years back. Even like probably a year before we were thinking to move, right, on a like a concrete basis. So I was just seeing at that time, like, what people who are moving, what is their age group, or like what kind of money they saved and they are moving. Like, are we moving too soon, or are we moving too late, right? I was just trying to get like idea from that like, who are the people they are moving, what are their reasons, right, where are they going. So even I mean, like, I actually, we both of us, we wanted to move to Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Right, but it just didn't like work out somehow. But we do want to live 2-3 years in Hyderabad, and then figure out where we want to eventually settle. So I think a lot of small, even small things, like which relocation provider to use, right, and like how 401ks work, like which is the best platform to consolidate. I mean, it's like, it's such a big community that like people have experience with almost all the edge cases as well that you might encounter. So it's very easy. Like, even small things like how much time it will take for the shipment, how to track, and like even just small things. I see people are just asking, like, which TV to buy in India. So it is very comprehensive and detailed now. So that's good. I mean, yeah, now, even if I don't need like much help, I still read messages and try to help people who are just starting that move out journey.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Uh, Looking back, right, yeah, that makes a big difference. Wonderful. Thank you for doing that. So yeah, before we wind up, folks who are in the US or UK or anywhere else who are planning to move back, let's say in the next 6 months or so, what would be your advice to them, since from your experience? What would you tell them?
My advice can be biased, but I would just say that like, it is going to be that you'll have your doubts, but it is going to be worth it in the end. Even if you feel that like you'll be happier in India by 50%, I'm pretty sure once you move back, it will turn into 100%. India has changed a lot, so like, you cannot compare it with the time when we moved out of India. So there's a lot of convenience, there's a lot of development which has happened. Like, the competition is at par, and I think you probably will lead a more kind of luxurious or more comfortable life compared to USA. So yeah, just take the call. And obviously, every person is different. If you move back and it didn't work out for you, it's not a one way ticket. You can always go back again.
Got it. Got it. I completely agree. From my experience too, I think it's a very subjective thing. You have to figure out what actually works for you, what is more valuable for you. And it's definitely not a logical kind of thing to do. It's more of an emotional plus kind of thing. You have to look into the future as well. I mean, 10 years, 15 years from now, how would you feel about what makes you happy, right? And
Yeah.
get that happiness from. Those are the more important questions I think one has to try and answer. And of course, join the community. We're always there to help everyone who have with your questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, wonderful. Great. Wonderful journey there, Hemant. There's a lot of points I could resonate with. It's very similar to my own journey. So wish you all the best with the newsletter and all the other endeavors that you have. But wonderful to be back in India. And thanks a lot for contributing to the community as well. Personally, I feel very happy when I hear someone, sharing their experiences. Wonderful stuff there. So yeah, thank you for the time. It's been a pleasure. I will share this on our channel on YouTube if you don't mind, so that you can go through and get inspired perhaps. But yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Mani. Really appreciate it.
Wonderful. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I'll cut the recording there and then post it.
Okay.
Yeah, personal. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no reason. Thanks for organizing this. I also wanted to talk to you, like, so what